With another former WWE star in Japan ahead of Wrestle Kingdom and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Taking to Instagram, The Rock sent out a motivational message to fans for 2023. Here's the clip.
I'll share one thing with you that I think you guys might find really helpful and valuable as you step forward into 2023. And I know that this quote has really helped me over the years. I keep it very close with me. I keep it written down in many places. I have it in my office. And the quote is very simple, but sometimes the most anchoring narratives in our life that we need are oftentimes the most simplistic. The quote goes like this: one day or day one. One day or day one. So you think about it, what is that thing that we wanted to accomplish? That thing you wanted to accomplish, that thing that has been gnawing at your gut, that thing that you think you have some passion about, that you want to take a crack at, that thing that's been in your crosshairs, that thing I'm thinking about, I want to accomplish it, I think I'm going to be good at it, or who knows, I think I could make something of this particular thing. You know what? One day. I'll do it one day. Okay, that's up to you. Or, and I like this one better, day one. This is day one. This is day one of that thing I have had in my crosshairs, that thing that I believe gets me out of bed, that thing that I run towards, that thing that I want to be passionate about, that thing I want to accomplish. Today is the first day. Today is day one. Today is day one, and if you guys are in that day one mode, then I want you to join me, because I'm in that day one mode too. I have got a handful of day ones that I have declared that today is that day. Today is that day where we are taking action. We are taking that first step. And the first step of action is in the mental declaration. The moment we say it, today is that day, then the universe meets us halfway and we go. So join me now on that day one, whatever it is. It could be something to improve your health and fitness, your wellness, your balance, your training. It could be something if you wanted to accomplish in school. It could be something personal. It could be your relationships to make them better. It could be if you have entrepreneurial blood in your DNA like I do. What is that idea, that venture, that business thing, and you're ready to do it? Let's go do it. Let's go do it. It is day one. It could be vices that have been challenging this past year or for the past couple of years. Now, I have a few vices too, but right now my vices, I'm going to put those in the one day category because I enjoy them too much. And right now I'm going to quote one of my favorite pro wrestling heroes. He's no longer with us. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. He's up there walking in the clouds with my dad, the Soul Man, Rocky Johnson. Dusty said, "We ain't laughing and joking. We're cooking and smoking." And we went out there and handled business. That's yes, sir, baby. Let's do it. So this is day one, and no laughing and joking despite this smile. We're cooking and smoking. And despite this smile, because it feels good to declare day one, I am so incredibly and intensely, extremely focused on my day ones, on the things that I want to accomplish. And when I say extremely and intensely, it's obsessive. It is obsessive. So if you're like me, and many of you are, we're going to take that first step. Today is day one. Let's get after it. Let's get some. 2022 is in the rear view. By the way, thank you. I say this with great humility and gratitude. 2022, thank you for the blessings. Thank you for the lessons. Thank you for the wins. Thank you for the losses. Thank you for the ass kickings. Thank you, 2022. You're in the rear view. Now 2023 is ahead of us. It's going to be a big year for us. I wish you all nothing but success on your epic journey. This is day one.
On his podcast, AEW commentator Tony Schiavone addressed previous comments he made where he seemed to hint at retirement. Adam DeMoya talked to him yesterday with our bonus podcast. He said, "So you're retiring, huh?" I went, "What are you talking about?" Apparently, one day I was tired and I said, "Man, I'm just tired. Maybe I'll just do a podcast with you and do video games the rest of my life." Well, that became like a clickbait. And so I'd like to say that the people who put that on the clickbait are liars. They're pieces of and they can go F themselves. How does that sound? I even sent an email to one of them. I said, "I know you and your readers hate me, that's fine, but I have no plans to step away from announcing. Your clickbait headline is completely false." That's all I said. Listen, I'm the luckiest guy in the world, so why would I leave? Sure, I get tired. I stay up all night on Tuesday night and I get no sleep on Wednesday night, and I end up sleeping most of the day Tuesday until the late afternoon when we got to do some work to get Rampage out the door. I'm doing great, thank you for asking. Hope you are well too. Responding to accusations from Karen Jarrett regarding an affair with Kurt Angle, Kelly wrote her back on Twitter. "I keep linked in this tweet. I have DM'd Karen Jarrett to privately ask her, and I'm waiting for her response. But want to go ahead and publicly make a statement that only way I can be linked to Kurt is we were co-workers. Sorry, but thanks for the Monday morning entertainment." When it comes to plans for WrestleMania 39, it seems all of Vince McMahon's ideas are no longer in place for the event, as Fightful reported. Talent that we'd spoken to did confirm the most involved thought that the original WrestleMania 35 match should have been a one-on-one match, as Steve Mulhausen had noted on Twitter. A source familiar with the situation said that Becky Lynch did not seem bothered by the notion that the match was no longer happening, but there wasn't an update on what her match at the show would be. It goes without saying, but we're told that anything that Vince McMahon had in mind for next year before his departure isn't set for the show any longer. Ahead of Vince leaving, it was presumed that Cody Rhodes would end up competing for the WWE Championship at the show. However, sources in creative told Fightful that while that was assumed, it wasn't outright told to them. WWE does want Logan Paul and The Rock for the show, but we've gained no confirmation on whether or not either will appear. John Cena's status was also unclear to us, and internal conversation shifted from Austin Theory to Logan Paul recently. But we can confirm that other top talent was pushing to work with him as far back as July for WrestleMania. There had actually been pitches within the company at that point for Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, but we haven't heard that discussed since the regime change. With Cody Rhodes currently the betting favorite to win the Royal Rumble, it appears his comeback will not be a surprise for the event. As Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, "I'd always figured that Cody Rhodes' return would be a surprise at the Royal Rumble, but it's absolutely not going to be, as they're doing a multi-part series building up his return." As Matt Riddle has been out of action for a few weeks, many have speculated it could be due to him going into rehab. Regardless, the star is set for a return this year, as PW Insider said. Talent's being locally advertised for the February 13th WWE Monday Night Raw at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York are Bobby Lashley, Bianca Belair, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano, and Matt Riddle. No matches have yet been announced locally for the event. Dax Harwood recently started releasing episodes for his new podcast, but not everyone is a fan, as Brian Alvarez noted on Wrestling Observer Radio. "From what I heard from different people, not the people who you probably heard from, they were not particularly happy at all about this. All I heard the other day was how unhappy people were about that podcast." Speaking of that podcast, Dax Harwood would talk about the situation surrounding Sasha Banks and how she may have rubbed people the wrong way in WWE. She did take the women's tag team titles very seriously, but yeah, she took wrestling very seriously too. She did not get into wrestling just to get into wrestling, you know? She got into wrestling so she could make a difference. And not just for women's wrestling, but for all of wrestling. Sometimes, speaking from personal experience, pride can rub people the wrong way because you do stand up for what you believe in. You don't take no for an answer because you want the best for yourself. You want the best for your craft, your art form. You take it so seriously, man. It's a recipe for success. But also, a lot of people aren't going to like you because of it. I think that is what happened maybe to Sasha Banks. While there's been reports of Sasha Banks making an appearance at Wrestle Kingdom 17 for New Japan, it seems another star could be joining her, as it was reported that PWInsider.com can also exclusively confirm the Banks' WWE Women's Tag Team Championship partner, Trinity Naomi Fatu, is currently slated to be in Japan. Should Fatu appear in some fashion at Wrestle Kingdom 17, it would be her first appearance in wrestling circles since she and Sasha Banks walked out of a May SmackDown taping. Naomi would also confirm she is in Japan with a post on social media. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.